Hey guys, fear not. We're in day 29. Fear not, day 29. So you see a painting with a river behind me, kind of, in the dark. Um, and today we're going to be talking about times that move and change. So, like a river, you stand in it, it will change around you, whether you do anything or not, and it will continue to change. In today we're going to look at Exodus 14:13, and just going to read it, and then we'll go into it a little bit, and then I'll show it to you. But Moses said to the people, "Do not fear. Stand by and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you have seen today, you will never see them again forever. The Lord will fight for you while you keep silent." So, as you're aware, in Exodus 14, this slave people, generations of slave people, under the fear of the Egyptians and the control of the Egyptians, were learning to trust their God that was leading them. And the Egyptian army was chasing them with chariots, which were terrifying. Terrifying. The modern day equivalent would be like fast moving tanks or maybe even Apache helicopters with a well trained army, and you're running through the desert. I'm not going to go into all the details. You can do that. But what I want to do is I want to draw, once again, you standing in that river. Let me turn this scriptures. Moses said to the people, "Do not fear." And he asked them to stand by. Sometimes that's hard. You get the pressures of everything coming down around you. This army, this affliction that's after you and is chasing you, feels like they'll always be there and always be the biggest influence on your life. But just like standing in that river, Moses asked the people not to fear and to stand by and see the salvation of the Lord. They weren't to do anything but trust God, and God would accomplish it for them that day. And the biggest influence, the biggest thing that they needed to fear before when they were slaves in Egypt, those people that they had to always be afraid of how they acted around, those that they've always had to make sure that their actions were in line with what their expectations were, they were never going to see them again forever. Now, all their trust would be in the Lord. So what situation are you going through that seems so huge that it's your whole world? But if you do not fear and you stand by, and that river rushes through and by you, just like the river above me here in this painting, you trust in God to fear only Him. He will take those big influences that are bad right now in your life, like the Egyptian slavery relationship, and they'll never see them again. So often we are so concerned about how we look and how we are perceived, by people we will never see again. But yet, those who we've been entrusted with, our family, our friends that our God has put into our lives to influence and trust and build a relationship with, they we have an effect with. But yet the people that aren't going to be around, they're just flushing by with the river, they are the ones that you'll never see again. And this word here, it says in verse 14 of Exodus 14, the Lord will fight for you while you keep silent. So once again, recap Exodus 14:13. Moses is telling his people who are being chased by their greatest influencer, do not fear. He will accomplish for you today. Stand by, stand by. He will accomplish for you today. He wants them to see the salvation of the Lord. Recognize who that big influence is now in your life. I have another bulldog. I have a pug that's snoring next to me on the couch. Why does this keep happening to me? Once again, do not fear. So I ask you to think about what you're giving fear to in your life that you shouldn't. Stand and witness what God will do with the water, and you'll never see what may be causing you anxiety ever again. Trust in Him.
Came to rescue me. I was broken.